So, ladies and gentlemen, today at our coaching table we have a Fennec, which plays way too much Warzone compared to Valorant, I guess. That's why his name is Fennec. Now, he is a Platinum 1, God knows what main. I mean, he's playing everything. He's playing Sage, Killjoy, Phoenix, and today we're doing an Omen Platinum VOD review on Lotus. So, let's see what he can do a bit better with Omen on Lotus and how he can improve himself. PVK won a free VOD review on my live streams, so, you know, like, check out the live streams, you know, go on my Discord server, enter the giveaways, like, there's always some free stuff for the community, man. I love you guys and girls. Now, so, we already did one VOD review of the PVK, because he is also a tier 3 Discord sub, and if you remember this guy, he was the gold Sage player on Fracture. So now he's playing Omen. He switched to the better character, to the better agent. His statistics didn't change that much. I mean, he did improve his KD a bit, his ADR a bit, as far as I see, and his headshot percentage is quite good for a Platinum player. Like, I like it a lot. I like it quite a lot, actually. His win rate with the Sage is actually not that bad. What are you playing this act? Sage, Killjoy, Phoenix. He's playing whatever the fuck he wants. Like, this may be your second account. This is his main account. I don't know. Like, then let's see what he is doing on Omen. Like, there's no point in reviewing this tracker. His most hated map is Ascent. This statistics is like these statistics from this tracker are actually not that bad. Like, I like this quite a lot. Like, he has such a high impact in pistol rounds. That is amazing. In semi rounds as well. And the full bias is okay. I don't know, man. Like, PvK, you improved, like, your statistics quite a lot, like, from the last time we did a VOD review of you. As far as I remember, you didn't have this type of statistics on your last time when I did a VOD review of you. Maybe on eco rounds you can be a bit better, you know, with a shorty and some easier to use weapons. Overall, not bad. From this tracker, you're on a really good path to become like a Diamond Ascendant or Immortal player in a near future. This is really good. I like it quite a lot. Let's see how you're playing Omen, man, and see what you can do better on Omen. Because I really feel, you know, fuck the Killjoy, like, come on. Killjoy is something that you should play only on some maps. Like, where are you playing Killjoy? So on Bind, you're playing Sage. Okay, but I really feel on Bind, like, Omen is a Giga Chad, man. Like, on Bind, I mean, if you're watching our series right now, you know, like, Omen to Immortal, I mean, Omen is unstoppable machine on Bind. If you implement my strategies, my playstyle, my tactics, like, I really feel anyone can have, like, I don't know, 60% win rate minimum on Bind. Maybe even more, to be honest. Sage is on, like, I would feel the Sage on Bind sometimes, but not below Immortal 1. Like, there's no reason for you to play Sage below Immortal 1, to be honest. You can win the match with Omen. On Fracture, you're mixing it a lot. Killjoy, Phoenix, and Neon. Okay, good choices. Good choices. Good agents. Not that bad. On Pearl, Sage, and Phoenix. On Pearl, maybe you should try playing Killjoy instead, because I really feel that Killjoy has a bit higher impact than Sage, for an example, on the map. I mean, Sage is important and Phoenix are important for planting the spike on B, but on Defender side, like, you can get fucked quite a lot. If you're only playing Sage. I don't know. Like, depends how you're playing the map overall. On Lotus, you're playing Killjoy. Maybe on Lotus you can try playing Omen, because I've noticed that players on Lotus have absolutely no idea which smokes they should be giving for their teammates and how to support their teammates with the smokes. So I would heavily recommend you, instead of the Killjoy, just play Omen. You will be able to control your teammates a bit better than with the Killjoy. Killjoy is definitely a very useful agent on the Defender side and something that you kind of need to have if you want to have a bit higher win rate on Lotus. But I don't know. Omensky is quite good. Like, we're gonna see today, you know, how you're playing Omensky. Haven, Sage. On Haven, also, Omen is such a great pick. Like, if you want to main Omen and try Omen, try playing on Haven. Omen, like, Omen has so many different strategies, tactics on Haven, and so many different ways how you can retake the bomb sites, push the bomb sites. Like, Haven and Bind and Split and Ascent are the playground for Omen players. Like, so easy to get some impactful kills. Isn't Viper good on Pearl? Yeah, Viper is also fine on Pearl. Like, Viper is maybe the best controller up to Immortal 1. And for Immortal 1, Astra. Astra is Giga Chad. Why isn't Omen played in VCT? Because of the Harbor meta in VCT, you know, like, basically, in pro matches, with Omen, you cannot do the aggressive plays and the stuff that you cannot outmaneuver the enemies, and you cannot, like, outplay the enemies in the same way that I do in solo queue. Come on, like, Tenz has the brain, like, you know, like, Angel has the brain, like, it's really hard to utilize Omen in the current meta at the pro levels. But I really feel that, you know, in solo queue, it is so easy to outplay the enemies and just consistently be on a winning streak. Okie dokie. What about Skye? Skye is a good agent, just Skye I cannot recommend below Immortal 1. Like, if you want to main initiators up to Immortal 1, I really feel that you can find much more impact with Breach. Like, Breach is a Giga Chad, and Gecko as well. Like, I really feel that players in you know, Diamond, Ascendant, Platinum, Gold, they are never turning away from your flashes. It is very easy to pop flash them and kill them. So if you want to main some role like that, like Initiator, flash role, so to say, go with the Breach. Breach is on every single map. He can be useful, and he is definitely more powerful than Skye, but at least right now. Papito, is coaching paying with PayPal, or cause I cannot use PayPal for some reason? You can pay for coaching in 4 ways: PayPal, card payment, and crypto. Actually, that's 3 ways. You know, thanks God I'm not a mathematician coach. Okay, let's see what he's doing on Lotus. Let me open development. Sorry guys for that. Why is Skye meta initiator in pro play in most maps? Because she's very useful in a pro play to get the early information, where the enemies are, where they are not. Like, her flashes are really powerful because they cannot be destroyed at all. Like, it is harder to dodge the Skye flash than to dodge the Breach flash. But in order to properly utilize the Skye flash, you need, you know, very good utility usage. Drax, welcome stream, man. Moment. If we were to insta-lock one agent to reach Immortal fast as a player in low elo, would you pick Omen or Jet? Below Diamond, I would go with Omen. Just because I really feel that below Diamond, like, players don't know anything about controllers. Like, smokes are from hell, literally. And a lot of rounds and a lot of matches you're gonna lose because they're smoker shit. And with Omen, it is very easy to be aggressive, passive, support, duelist, like, you can be anything. And Omen is gonna develop your game sense, your map awareness, and your ability to read the enemies and your teammates a lot better. And your game decisions as well. And then maybe from Diamond, like, Jet is a bit better. You know, Diamond, Ascendant, low Immortal. It's easier to carry with a Jet in those higher elo lobbies where you can already pre-assume that your teammates know what is a good utility usage. But considering that that guy that we just watched in the rank duel, in Guess the Rank, was the Ascendant, you're doomed, guy. We're doomed. Would you recommend Harbor for a Platinum 1 Diamond player? I would not recommend Harbor for a Jesus Christ to play in this game. Like, it is so hard to utilize the Harbor properly in solo queue. Almost impossible. Like, maybe in Immortal 3 and Radiant, you can play Harbor, but below Immortal 3, like, good luck. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, it is so hard to utilize that agent, like, in a solo queue environment. Okay. Lotus. Where are we starting? We're starting on the Defender side. Just a second, I'm gonna scroll this a bit. Okay, listen, boys. So, Lotus first round on the Defender side. Basically on Lotus, what is really important is keeping the control of the A main area of the map here, and keeping the control of the C site at all times. So basically your highest priorities on Lotus, when it comes to your defense, should always be defending A main area of the map or defending the C site, depending where you think enemies will go next. It is really, really good if you're consistently pressuring the enemies in the A main area of the map and taking the control of the A main in every single full buy round. Because when you lose the A main control, you lose such a crucial portion of the map for yourself and your teammates, and the round is already 20% going in the favor of the enemies. Like, I always recommend the players, like when I coach them on Lotus, fight for the aiming control, if that is possible. If you have a team composition for that, of course. And basically, in the first round, I personally prioritize, no matter which agent I'm playing, defending the A site and A main area of the map. If you're playing Omen on Lotus, what I personally love to do is I love to play a classic pistol shorty strategy in the doors area of the map, and from this area of the map trying to punish the enemies as they're coming into the bomb site. So basically, you start around here, you buy a classic, light shield, 2 smokes, 1 shroud a step, you juggle these weapons all the way here, pick up the shorty. If the enemies are pushing A main, give them the smoke. Give the smoke to your teammates. If enemies are opening the doors, at a moment of time when the enemies are opening the doors, do the smoke, and now try to outmaneuver the enemies to the smoke, get a kill, get out, and that's it. That is one thing that you can do. Second thing that you can do, you can just buy a ghost and try to exchange some kind of a gunfire with the enemies. Like, try to pressure the enemies, try to take a kill. It's really, you know, depending how you feel mechanically that day. That's also fine. No problem. I have nothing against that as well. But I usually would like to rely more on the shorty to get 1 free kill and to have light shield, classic, 2 smokes, and 1 shroud a step for the retake of the bomb site. Because retaking the C side with a ghost, we're kind of fucked. Not gonna lie. How do you juggle the weapons? You drop the shorty there, and I'm spamming the drop button and the secondary weapon. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to cancel the knife animation to play out completely. Okay, let's see what he does in the first round.
Cover going out.
This is interesting. What am I watching, bro? So, first of all, he didn't save the classic pistol. Whenever you're doing a classic pistol shorty strategy, in the first round, you need to save the classic. I mean, the name of the strategy is a classic pistol shorty strategy, not a shorty strategy. I know that you misclicked. I know that you didn't have time to buy a classic pistol now, but you needed to think about that. Like, playing a shorty only in the first round is gonna be hell of a time right now.
Cover going out.
And crossing into this smoke here was also quite dangerous, but the harbor already did a wall for you, so it's okay, I guess.
Harbor cascade.
Actually, harbor cascade that. He didn't do a wall. Like, here, if you wanted to play this position, you needed to do a better smoke to actually cross to this angle. And anyways, why did you... Like, what was your mindset? Like, you wanted to play here, classic pistol shorty. Why didn't you just start around here? What was the problem? In the first round, this can also work, but it is also a bit dangerous. Because, you know, one of the most common things that players love to do on Lotus, and something that you always need to be aware of, is that players love to penetrate that box. Sometimes that doesn't happen, but if you're playing against me, I'm gonna check that box 10 out of 10 times. Maybe, you know, in Platinum Elo, Diamond Elo, you can try to do something like this, but just, you know, start your round here. Do the classic pistol shorty here, you start the round, pick up the shorty, do this type of a smoke for yourself and your teammates, wait for the enemies. Play here, wait for the enemies, re-smoke yourself after 14 seconds, 14.25 seconds, wait for the enemies. If you see an opportunity to kill the enemies here, go for it. Try to kill the enemies there, go back, pick up the classic, reposition. It's okay. This is exactly why I like to play classic pistol shorty instead of the doors area of the map. Like, usually, there is going to be someone that is pushing through the doors in the first round. I don't know, like 80% of times, there's gonna be someone at the rotating doors. And it is so easy to get, you know, one free kill with a shorty there. But I think now we're gonna get kill as well. The only problem that we have right now is this gap in the smoke. Like, that should never happen for you, because right now, the harbor can push through there. I mean, enemies can push through that gap, and you won't be able to catch them with a shorty. You completely fucked up, like, by not saving the classic pistol. Like, it is so important to save the classic pistol, like, when you're doing these strategies.
Spike down A.
I don't know what you're waiting here with a shorty, but right now, your Jet killed one guy at the doors area of the map. Jet took a kill there. Pick up the weapon from the dead enemy. Your strategy is done. The play is done. It's really hard right now without the shrouded steps to utilize the shorty in this round. Pick up the weapon. And also, like, one tip is, like, with Omen, you need to learn to throw fast one-way smokes on the rotating doors. Like, this smoke is crucial to successfully protect your teammates there. Like, unless I am playing in this area of the map, maybe I'm not gonna do that smoke. But I'm always making sure that my teammates have the one-way for the rotating doors there, and there, if they're in some kind of a trouble. On A site, when you're playing Omen, you can almost every single time you hear the doors opening, instantly throw a one-way smoke. If you have time to do that, of course. Papito, how do you know if you did a proper one-way smoke? But that is something that you practice in a custom server, man. Like, you never know, but through practice, through repetition, through consistency, like, it's very easy to understand whether you did a good smoke or not. Like, I very rarely miss my one-way smokes. Like, one out of 20 smokes I'm gonna miss. Like, go in a custom server, you know, experiment a bit, see how the triangle, you know, looks like, where that triangle should be, and, you know, it's really easy to tell, like, whether a smoke is a one-way or not.
Down A.
Okay, we have air conditioning in the background. I like it.
One enemy remaining.
In this round, like, you know, there's a lot of effed up things that happen for you, but the most crucial mistake was not going with your Jet into the tree to pick up the weapon once you fucked up with a classic strategy. Like, you needed to go into the tree to pick up that gun, so that now you can fight with your Jet and your teammates. Okay. This aggression that you're doing here, so this aggression that you're doing here alone was really bad. Like, you should have waited for, like, that Jet is stuck. You know, step bro, I'm stuck. Like, she is dead. Wait, just play with the Sova, wait for the Jet to make a mistake to peek, and just fight together. Why do I need to push Jet alone? And also, one huge tip for all of you guys. So, number one tip that we have here. Playing on numbers advantage. So, what is the real numbers advantage in Valorant? 5v3, 5v2, 5v1. 4v3, 4v2, 4v1. 3v2, 3v1, and 2v1. So, when you have this numbers advantage in-game, like, try to stay away from using any unnecessary utility that might fuck you up or split you into 1v1 gunfights. So essentially, this smoke that you did right now on the right side is something that I would have never done in a 2v1 scenario. Literally never. Because right now, Jett can use this smoke to escape the position where she got stuck, and you just allow the Jett to outmaneuver you through that smoke. So basically, like, whenever you're, like, you know, when you have these numbers in the game, you just want to rely on the clean gunfights with your teammates and do only the necessary utility that you need to do to win that round. So, right now, what would have been a bit better than doing this stupid smoke there is maybe doing a one-way here. So that Jett cannot peek you from the left side, and she only can fight you from the right side. She's completely stuck there, you can play with your Sova, and that's it. Or maybe a one-way, you know, on the right side, like here. Like that. But doing the default smoke here, to allow the Jett to split you into individual fights, no bueno. And always, like, when you're 2v1 against the enemies, like, your primary focus should not be where is the enemy and fighting the enemy. The primary focus should be how can I play with this Sova and rely on the refrag potential. Like, right now, I don't give a fuck what the Jett is doing. Where is the Jett? The only thing that I give a fuck about is that my Sova can refrag me in this gunfight, or that I can refrag the Sova. I don't want to kill the Jett alone. I don't care about that kill. All that I care about right now is securing this round and winning this round for my team. And trying not to allow the Jett to split us into individual 1v1 gunfights. So right now, I would have played a bit more to the right side. I would have had a one-way smoke here, and I would have just played on the contact of my Sova or together with my Sova to fight the Jett. This 2v1 was very risky and something that I would have never done if I was in your position. It was really close. Really, really close. Like, you were 5 HP, Sova was like 20. Okay. Now, in the first round on Lotus, on a defender side, if you win the first round, usually, like, I pre-assume that enemies are going to pressure us on B side or C side. Because when the enemies are equal and held by, it is really hard to take the control of the A main area of the map on the attack, and it's really hard to push the A side and close the gap with the enemies here. So, if I win the first round on A, the second round I'm probably gonna start at the B, or maybe at the C side. So in this round, I would have just played with the Sova on B, and, you know, if the Jett gets the contact on A, I would just do a fast rotation on A side. As your primary, like, eco weapon, hull by weapon, and a force by weapon on Lotus, you should definitely use either the Spectre or the Bulldog. You know, don't buy the Stinger in the second round. Don't buy the Judge on this map. Like, Judge, you know, you can utilize it, but it's not that powerful as on other maps. So just go B, or, pardon me, just go with a Bulldog or go with a Spectre. And in this round, probably, what I would have done is, like, you know, buy a Bulldog and just been chilling here at this angle, pixel angle, try to kill the enemy there, and repositioning fast, and, you know, dealing and stopping the enemy's push, like, with my smokes and my utility. This gunfight that you're trying to pick right now is borderline stupid as well. But you have a Spectre. Why do you want to fight the chamber that has a headhunter with a ghost in this long-range gunfight? You have a heavy shield, you have a Spectre, like, you're in an open area of the map with a ghost, trying to fight a potential chamber that is going with a teleport peak there. Why? Let the enemies come towards you. Enemies are in a disadvantage. You are not in a disadvantage. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, on Lotus, when the enemies are eco and hull by, they're either gonna play some kind of a default, or they're gonna fight for the C long and B main area of the map. Majority of times, that is what players do in solo queue, and, you know, that's the best gamble that you can do. that smoke should have been better. Like when you're smoking the B site for your teammates, you always want to deploy the smoke a bit deeper. Like this is a good smoke. So that enemies need to cross through this area of the map in order to push the bomb site. Like if you do a smoke like this, or God forbid like this, then enemies can easily pop flash your teammate on the B site and push through here, through here, through here. So if you're doing a default smoke in a full buy round or a forced buy round for your teammates on B, do a bit deeper smoke. So even after the enemies use the pop flashes and utility, they still need to push through this small corridor right here. And maybe your teammates are gonna, you know, catch the enemies there, kill them, etc, etc. If you do a smoke like this, or like this, enemies can just instantly push, you know, in multiple different directions. You see how it is very easy to read the enemies, like in solo queue, based on what happened in the previous rounds and based on their economy. Like, solo queue players have a very specific mentality and very specific pattern of pushing that they like to abuse on the attacker side. And it's really, really easy, like, to you know, you cannot consistently predict where the enemies will go next and what enemies are gonna do, but 60 or 70% of rounds on a defender side, you can actually tell, you know, what enemies are gonna do based on the map that you're playing, based on the economy, and based on the outcome of the previous rounds.
Reloading. Reloading.
This Jet is doing such a stupid play, man. Like, if the enemies are eco and Halbai, don't be eco Cobra Tate, you know, stop being an imbecile. Like, if the enemies are eco and Halbai, you have better economy than enemies. Let the enemies come towards you. Like, there's not a single moment of time in Valorant when you should actually pressure the enemies aggressively on a defender side if you have better economy than enemies. Like, you win the first round, second round, play a bit more passively. Like, this Jet is just hunting the stupid, pointless kills. This Reyna as well. And now you as well. If you pick this, it would be such a stupid thing to do. Especially because your Sova and Jet are, you know, enemies can just spit on them and kill them. Absolute nonsense. To lose this many guns and to potentially lose this round. After that Reyna kill, stop hunting the kills. Stop hunting the kills, bro. Go back. Like, we can pick up that Phantom later. We don't need to pick it immediately right now. Play a bit more disciplined. You know, be disciplined. Yes, if your Cypher is peeking through this smoke, you should peek, you know, aggressively. But I would wait for my Cypher to peek and then refrag the Cypher. Because I don't want to lose my life. And now I'm relying on my Sova, Cypher, and Jet with 200 HP combined to win this round. It's absolutely stupid to lose these rounds and to lose the economy in this second round. Like, in the second round, highest priority is preventing the preserving your economy, number one. And number two, winning the round in the most painless and the most easy way possible.
Enemy remaining.
Nice.
Yeah. In this round, even if your teammates are bonusing, like, you should buy something. Like, right now, probably I would go with a light shield and Judge, or I would go with a heavy shield and Shorty, and just try to trade myself for at least 1 or 2 kills. And that is how I play Omen in these bonus rounds, like on both attack and defense. Like, as you can see, it is so easy with a Shorty and Omen to put yourself in a scenario where you can just take an easy kill, pick the gun from the dead enemies, and just, you know, now you have a full buy weapon. Fuck the Ghost. Why are you playing the Ghost? Like, buy the Shorty. Trust me, like, with Omen, the sooner you learn how to utilize the Shorty, the sooner you will become much more valuable asset to your team in all of the eco and halbye rounds. And Of course, if your teammate has a sheriff, play the sheriff. Of course, like if your teammate has a sheriff, tell your teammate to drop your sheriff and that's it. But isn't it important to play with Jett and Reyna since they are the most aggressive teammates in that second round? Let's not troll. Let's not troll here. Look at this. Your Reyna is pushing. Yes, I'm pushing with Reyna. I'm going, but you needed to be a bit faster there with a push. Like, you were shifting while your Reyna was pushing. Then your Reyna died. You were not able to refrag the Reyna. Now you're chilling. I'm not pushing anymore. I'm going back. You take this kill. I'm out as well. I'm pulling the knife out, going into smoke, repositioning myself. So what if the enemies have a phantom down there? I'm gonna pick it later. I'm gonna kill that enemy. Enemies don't have a light shield. They have nothing.
See.
Okay, in the first 3 rounds, if you notice that enemies are following the AB pattern of pushing and rule of fear, in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th round, you should always position yourself based on those 2 rules. So basically, like, the most common, 2 most common pushing and mentality patterns, AB rule and rule of fear. I think I don't need to explain those 2 rules anymore. Like in the chat right now, look at the chat. Like you're gonna see, like, you know, AB rule and rule of fear. I mean, I was talking about this so many times. So basically, you know, from now on, I will always play the bomb site. Which enemies didn't push in the previous round. That smoke for the C long was actually quite good. That is okay smoke. Also remember that on the C side we have like some very good like one-way smokes as well, if you have time to do them. Like this smoke is great when enemies like didn't take the control of this. That smoke is amazing. You need to learn how to do that smoke. If the enemies already didn't push from the mound, there. This smoke is Gucci. Also, this smoke is great as well to support your teammates on the side. And now, you know, if the enemies are pushing down there, easy kills for your teammates. Or here, easy kills for your teammates. So it's okay. You know, these 2 smokes are great. Okay, rotata potato. Okay, smoke. Boy, is the enemy Jett lurking? Like, what is enemy Jett doing, bro? In this scenario, if you already knew that enemy Jett was, you know, in the C long, it would have been much better if you position yourself on some kind of a location where you can play the refrag with your teammates and where you can actually do the double tower setups. So, if I have a spike there and enemy Jett is there, I'm being chilling here. Like, that's it. I'm just waiting for the Jett. My Sova is below me. We're holding this. Sova can hold that. We're fighting together. Right now, this Jett can, you know, maybe randomly penetrate you and kill you. Jett can peek here, get a kill on you, and dash away. Your teammates are not able to properly support you in this angle. That's better. But now your Reyna is, you know, bonobo. Okay, this should be an easy round, right?
30 seconds left.
Cover
Like, again. This is exactly what I was talking about here. You don't need any more smokes, man. You have better. You have everything better. You are better. Be confident in a gunfight. Clean gunfights. Like 5v3, 5v2, 5v1, 4v3, 4v2, 4v1, 3v2, 3v1, 2v2, 2v1. Try to stay away from using any unnecessary utility that might fuck you up or split you into 1 versus 1 gunfights. Try to stay away from using any unnecessary utility where enemies can kill you based on timings. Focus on clean gunfights and refrag potential. Done. Change your mindset there. Okay.
10 seconds left. Enemy spotted. Reload.
Okay. In that scenario there, like both you and your teammates made a mistake here. Like, you should have let their jet live in this scenario, because if you let this jet survive with a sheriff, she will get only 1000 credits for the next round. So if enemies are making this mistake and they're saving some stupid weapon like a classic pistol, shorty, sheriff, marshal into the next round, let them live the life. Because then if this jet saves the weapon, the sheriff only, she doesn't have money to buy anything good in the next round. Okay, good 3 rounds. Not too shabby. So now, because of the ABAB rule and rule of fear, where do we think enemies will go? So in this round, I will completely eliminate this area of the map. So I don't think enemies will go C, because of ABAB rule and rule of fear. So now, the highest chances are that enemies will pressure this portion of the map. But we have one problem as well. In the next round, enemies are playing, once again, an eco hull by round. They don't have enough money to purchase anything. So, on Lotus, if I'm not certain whether enemies will push A or B, just start the round in the A link. Destroy the doors at the start of the round, and just try to, you know, help your teammates on both bomb sites. Don't listen. This is a very common mistake of Omen players and controller players. Don't do your smokes way too early. Like, wait for the enemies to actually close the gap with you, and then do the smokes. Like, right now, you know, this smoke kind of fucked you up. Like, you cannot help your Reyna is aggressive, and what was the purpose of this smoke? Use your smokes when the enemies are committing to the push, when the enemies are a bit closer to you, so that you're not wasting the timing of your smoke. You know, chill a bit. Chill. Fight with Reyna, you know, help her out. Like, right now, one smoke that could have been useful for you and your Reyna would have been the one-way smoke on the rubble. Like, this smoke I love to do a lot of the times when my teammates are pressuring the enemies from there. Like, if you're pressuring the enemies in the A main area of the map, and enemies have the Omen, Jet, or someone that can easily cross from there to there, just do this smoke. If you're not fighting for the full A main control. Now, Reyna cannot die from that angle at all, and we can just fight these gunfights together. Ba, 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 ba. You see how that smoke would have been so valuable for your Reyna. With Omen, it is really important, like, to adapt to every single scenario in which your teammates put you in. Like, don't be too fast on your utility, but also don't be too slow. Like, try to see what your teammates want to do, where they're looking at. Is your Reyna destroying those doors? Is she going to be aggressive? Like, don't fuck yourself up and don't hurt yourself with some stupid smokes, you know, like stupid utility usage.
Stealing sight.
In this scenario, the only thing that you did bad is you peeked from this smoke way too much. Like, you knew on the minimap that Chamber and Reyna were there. Like, your Reyna literally saw on the minimap that Chamber and enemy Reyna are in this area of the map. And if I have this type of a smoke here, like this, you know, let's flash that guy that is going for the gun. Let's peek for an inch from the smoke.
Shadows traveling.
Like this, kill that guy, go back. Like, you're overexposing yourself a lot when you're pushing from the smokes. And pay attention, you know, like, smokes are a great cover for your ass to do the aggressive plays, to peek the enemies around the smokes. Like, that is why I love playing Jett and Omen so much on both attackers and defenders side. Like, with the smokes, you can always isolate the enemies into 1 versus 1 gunfights and use the smokes as an escape route for yourself.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, we won this round. Okay, now, because of ABAB rule and rule of fear, we can eliminate that enemies will push this area of the map in this specific round. Enemies were really consistently following ABAB rule and rule of fear. So, I would play this area of the map here. You know, like, I would either position on C or on B side. And it's completely fine that you position yourself on C even though you have a Cypher there, because your Reyna and Sova are going for some kind of an aggressive play on B side.
I'll smoke it.
Okay, this is the round where enemies changed their playstyle and where enemies actually did something different. And from this round, we need to read the enemies based on the outcome of the previous rounds.
Is it A?
Could be. Yeah, they're opening a door in there.
Okay, good. What is that smoke? I mean, enemies already opened the doors. There is no one in the tree to actually utilize your smoke. This smoke is bad. You know, like, if your teammate is already not here, fighting the enemies in the doors, then you should just smoke your teammate here. Do this smoke, and rotate it as fast as possible to play with your Jett.
Shadows traveling.
You see, if you had that smoke for the tree right now, your Jett would not have died in this pointless 1v1 gunfight.
Stealing sight.
It's like 2 on site, at least.
Okay, guys, whenever you're dropping on Lotus, there, try to drop down without making the sound. You know, like, if you just shift and you glide on this position, you will not make a sound on the drop. So, you know, whenever you're dropping down, just shift and now, you know, peek the enemies. So that enemies still don't have a really good idea, you know, where you are at that moment of time.
Give in.
Good?
Reyna is on side.
Spike
Strike
main.
down A. One enemy remaining.
Okay.
Last man.
Last one is main.
Focus on a clean fight.
Cover going out.
30 seconds left.
Okay. Okay.
Good job.
Not bad. Listen, guys. If you're defending the A site, and for some reason you're in this area of the map with Omen, or with Jett, or with Raze, one off angle that I don't see a lot of the players are abusing to defend the A site is this position. Like, if your enemies don't have a smoke up there, just play here. It is so easy, you know, to catch this enemy off guard, to catch that enemy off guard, that enemy off guard. So in this example, when your Jett was there, and you were just playing, you know, on top of the CT, on top of, I don't know, this heaven position, just TP up here, you know, you can definitely get some easy kills for yourself and for your team. Okay, I mean, in this round, if the enemies push A side, they are literally trolling. Like, they're playing on that full autopilot mode.
You want to play?
But to be honest, when the enemies have the Gecko ultimate, the Killjoy ultimate, the Breach ultimate, I usually pre-assume that players will try to push either the C side or the B side.
Let's play. Shadows traveling.
But these enemies are done, man. Like, they're already fighting, you know, like in the chat. So right now, enemies became... I'm so sorry, guys. I'm gonna die. Someone is mentioning me.
Cover going out.
Probably pushing it.
Watch them run.
I suggest you move.
Spike down A.
Okay, good repositioning. Yeah, but bro, you need to be aware of that. Like, you know, enemies open the doors as they were pushing into the A side. We needed to pre-assume that one enemy is gonna be in the tree. But generally speaking, like, I really feel, PvK, that you have a huge potential to rank up 2 times faster with Omen than playing a stupid Sage and Killjoy. Like, this gameplay that you're showing me right now is 10 times better than when we did a VOD review on Sage. Like, it is much more proactive. You're trying to do different things. You're trying to experiment. You're trying to put yourself outside of the comfort zone. Like, I feel that you will learn much more about Valorant if you continue playing Omen than if you actually, you know, stay on the stupid Sage and Killjoy.
Spike down A.
Still, like one of the most crucial problems for you is your map awareness. Like, you're not trying to think where the enemies actually are and where the enemies can be, and you're not trying to fight the enemies based on that information. Like, you know, already third time, you're putting yourself in a scenario where, you know, you're a very easy target for the enemies, and where you're not pre-assuming that enemies can be there in that specific area of the map.
Ending.
We lost that round! Shit. Are you the guy who fucks his chair on OnlyFans? Yes, that's me, bro. Weird flex. Weird flex.
Spike down C.
Good rotation. Good rotation. Mistake 101 mistake of every single Omen player. Like, every single Omen player is fighting like utility doesn't exist. Like, my main focus when I'm playing Valorant is fighting enemies on my own terms and fighting the enemies in the easiest possible gunfights for myself. Like, if I already know that Reyna is in that location, why would I dry swing that Reyna? Use the paranoia, flash the Reyna, and then pick the Reyna. And even if she goes back behind the boxes, so what? We still have a spike there. We can do the one-way smoke here and just spam the one-way. And the spike is ours for 30 seconds, 45 seconds actually. You know, just doing this, bam, bam. Wait for the enemy. Bam, bam, wait for the enemy. Like, this dry swing didn't make a single sense in this specific scenario. Like, try always to fight the enemies on your own terms, on your own ground, and create the gunfights that actually work consistently in your favor. Avoid this 50-50 shit. These last 2 rounds were easily winnable. Like, I don't want to say that you lost them, but you were definitely not alive to actually control them.
They're usually distracted once I review them. Make sure to take advantage.
Show me something good. Show me something good this round. Once again, when you're playing Omen, it is really important that at the start of every single round, you're fully focused on what? On this shit above me right here, on the minimap. Like every single round, when I'm playing with Omen, always look at the minimap. Look what your teammates are doing, where they're gonna go, what they're gonna push. Like, basically, when I'm playing my matches, and when I'm like, you know, when I'm like, want to support my teammates. Like, one more thing that I'm observing when it comes to reading my teammates is observe the body posture of your allies. The direction in which your teammates are looking at and how slow or how fast your teammates are playing can tell you a lot what the enemies are gonna do next. Like, Valorant is quite similar to playing chess. Like, basically, you consistently want to predict 2 steps ahead what's gonna happen. Like, basically, you know, when I'm playing my rounds, when I'm starting my rounds, like, I already try to visualize how that round is gonna look for me, how that specific play, that specific push is gonna look for my teammates, and I'm trying to support my teammates with everything that I have. Like my utility, my presence, anything that I think, you know, is gonna be valuable for my teammates. So essentially, you know, if 2 of my teammates are looking aggressively onto this barrier, like, you know, I see my Jet is looking here, my Chamber is looking there. Was it the Chamber or Sova? Sova. So Jet is looking here, Sova is looking here. I'm already gonna pre-assume that they are going for some kind of an aggression. And what I'm gonna do is either I'm gonna give them the one-way smoke on top of the choke point there, or I'm gonna give them this smoke so they have a bit easier time pressuring the enemies in this area of the map. Or if I was a bit late, I'm just gonna give them this smoke so that right now they can only focus on the gunfights in this area of the map. By the way, you also need to learn, you know, how to deploy this one way. This one way is very important on top of the doorway right here.
Cover going out. Shadows traveling.
Fuck, I have a shotgun.
Nice kill. Nice kill!
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Shush! And now, I guarantee, guys, he is going to take a boiling diarrhea on everything that he did right now. 100%. If he doesn't use his flesh and his smokes to close the gap with the enemies and outmaneuver the enemies, I don't know why are we playing Omen at all. Like right now, if I was him, I would just, you know, use one smoke here, flash there, teleport into that smoke, tap the spike, try to see where the enemies are, where they're penetrating me, peek the enemies, kill one enemy, go into the smoke, kill the second enemy, anything except fighting the enemies in a clean gunfight. We need the smokes. We need the smokes.
Cover going out.
And, of course, like, 101 rule for every single player in Valorant: keep the short as a secondary weapon. Keep the short as a secondary weapon. In this situation right now, bam bam, 2 shorty shots, 2 kills. Or maybe 1 kill and then second kill I can take with a Vandal. We cannot go for this. In this scenario, you can only tap the spike and try to see where the enemies are going to penetrate you from. Like, I mean, you already know that Reyna is on tower. You know that chamber is somewhere on the site. We cannot stick a half defuse. Guys, if you already noticed that enemies love to abuse one specific area of the map, just play that area of the map. You know, enemies in the past 4 rounds, 5 rounds, push the A side. Just play the A side from now on. Anyways, you have a Cypher on C. Cypher is gonna delay the enemies a bit at least, but losing the A side 4 rounds in a row is the worst thing that can happen for your mental health and generally, you know, during your games. But losing the same position, the same side 24/7. That smoke doesn't have any value if the enemies already are pushing through the doors.
Going out.
Okay.
Spike planted.
We need to pre-assume that one enemy is here.
This one tree.
Unlucky. Okay, this was a well played by that chamber, man. The chamber just played this very well. Not bad. Come on, man. Enemies pushed us on A side 4 rounds in a row, and 4 rounds in a row they won on A. We cannot play C side definitely. Plus, you have the ultimate for the fast rotation on C side.
Get out of my way.
Shadows traveling. Cover going out.
The hunt begins.
Blinding.
Is it A?
Yeah, they're all here.
That flash there that you did to delay and to potentially stop the enemy's push was actually fine. Like, that is something that I would have done myself as well.
Spike planted.
Arbor 62.
You want to play? Let's play.
You cannot push this. You cannot push this smoke ever in your life. Like, pay attention to the minimap. Like, pay attention on which situation you are at that moment of time. Like, the whole point of playing Omen is your ability to isolate the enemies in a gunfight and to adapt yourself in every single round of the match. Like, why do we have a smokes and shrouded steps if you're just gonna fight the enemies in a clean fight? And paranoia. Like, first of all, never in Valorant push to the smokes facing forward. Number 1 mistake. If the smoke is here
Cover going out.
and I want to push to the smoke, I'm pushing like this. I'm never gonna push to the smoke like this, because enemies will notice you 10 times faster than you're gonna notice the enemies, and basically the tip of your gun will give out your position and enemies will know exactly where you are, and they're gonna start shooting at you, like, you know, a few milliseconds faster than you're gonna notice them, you know, and then you'll be able to shoot at them essentially.
Oh yeah. Last player standing.
Wow, headshot her twice.
Okay. How are we playing C-set again, bro? What's happening here? How is this possible? PvK, man. Brain went to the trash can. Like, what's happening here? Enemies just won 5 rounds in a row, eh? Why am I playing in the C side? Like, there is a few solutions that you can actually implement to stop and to punish the enemies here. The number one solution is picking up the operator and just trying to get a kill from some kind of an off angle and trying to punish the enemies, you know, from these type of locations. Second solution is aggressively pressuring the enemies and pushing the enemies. Like, what we can do is you can start your round here, tell your Sova and Jet to push the enemies on A-main. At the start of the round, deploy this smoke, this flash, and that's it. Destroy the doors, help your teammates out. We can also, from this position, do this smoke, flash the enemies on the right side, and now take this space control. You can also play a shotgun or some kind of a close range weapon here if the enemies are pushing through the doorway a lot of the times. Do this, wait for the enemies to push, ba 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 ba, end of the story. Like, how can I play C-set in this round?
Say.
Cover going out.
That smoke... Why did you do the smoke like that? Why you didn't do a normal default smoke, you know, to pressure towards the enemies instead of this?
Shadows traveling.
I mean, this smoke is better for the enemies. Basically, enemies can then peek, you know, behind the smoke. They can push through here. Like, it's easier for the enemies to push.
Shadows traveling. Watch them run. Shadows traveling.
Nice shot rotating.
Don't peek him.
And this rotation that you did here with the ultimate was actually really bad. Like, when would I use the ultimate on Lotus to rotate? Like, first of all, if one of my teammates dies right now on the A site, I'm gonna use the ultimate to rotate to help the remaining teammates on the site. If enemies start opening the rotating doors or enemies are already here, I'm gonna use my ultimate and I'm gonna rotate to my teammates. But unless the enemies give me the 100% information that they are pushing through this area of the map, I would have never used the ultimate. I would have just stayed on the C site.
Spike planted.
Someone is at the attacker spawn. You cannot play with a knife this much. Like, let's be honest, enemies planted the spike around 10 seconds ago. 15, I don't know, 10 seconds. An enemy could have already been there. Here. Like, at this moment of time, I'm done playing with my balls. I'm done playing with a knife. Like, I'm taking the gun out, clearing this angle, clearing this angle, clearing that position, that position, that position, you know, like... We cannot play with a knife 24/7. And you didn't even clear that angle. Like, that was another problem there. Like, I've just showcased you what I would have done. Like, when you're doing this type of retakes and rotations, clear every single angle as if enemy can already be there. Like, you will see that almost never in my gameplay I die in these type of scenarios. Because I always make sure that I clear absolutely every position where the enemies potentially can be. Even if the enemies cannot be there, I'm still gonna clear that angle. Just to be 100% certain. Like, I don't think you can find a single clip of mine where I died from an angle that we passed and I didn't clear it out. Like, one thing that is absolutely consistent for me is angle clearing and playing with the mindset enemies can be anywhere. Like, even if the site is fully clear, I'm still gonna clear everything myself, make sure that my teammates didn't miss a single enemy there, end of the story, period. Like, this is the moment of time where you're taking the stinger out, clearing that location, right, pressing forward. Okay, another thing that we can use to read the enemies a bit better in solo queue is their ultimate ability status and how they use the ultimate in the previous rounds. Like, for example, Harbor has the ultimate right now. The last time, when the Harbor had the ultimate, enemies pushed the A site. So that is why in this round, I would also play A site, like in any other round where we lost like 6 rounds in a row in a 5 rounds.
Shadows traveling.
Maybe that's not gonna happen, but that is the only information that I have for myself. Also, this smoke there is terrible. Like, it is way too fast. You did it without any contact between you and your teammates. And that is something that every single controller player should understand. Don't waste your smokes and don't waste the timing of your smokes. Like, if I want to do some kind of a default smoke or a smoke to delay or stop the enemy's push, I'm gonna do it once I get the contact with the enemies there, or my teammates get the contact with the enemies, or they come very close to that choke point. One-way smokes and smokes for the aggressive plays you can deploy immediately, because obviously you're, you know, delaying and stopping enemies push and you're doing some aggressive play. As I said, like, I'm not a wizard. I don't know what's gonna happen in this round, but I would pre-assume that enemies are gonna push A site and that because the last time they did the Harbor ultimate, it was for the A site. That Sova dart landed on Ascent, bro.
Happens.
I suggest you move.
Cover going out.
If you already want to do the smoke on the rotating doors, do the one-way. And this is another very common mistake of the Omen players in solo queue. Like, don't think about your utility as a utility that is only supporting you. Like, whenever I see an opportunity to do some kind of a flash for my teammates, paranoia that will maybe delay the enemy's push or help my teammates take a gunfight, I'm always focused on using that utility for my teammates. That is why, like, when you're playing Omen, like, half of your gameplay, your eye should be on the minimap. Like, you consistently want to observe what your teammates are pushing, where they are fighting the enemies. How can you support your teammates with the flashes, with the utility, with the shrouded steps, with the ultimate, anything. Like, in this example,
You move.
Cover going out.
if I see that Harbor there, I'm instantly pulling out my paranoia and I'm flashing this area of the map. And that flash potentially could have saved your Sova. Probably not, but still, you need to have that habit. Like, basically, don't use your flashes only in a two-dimensional way. Like, you see the enemy, you use a flash. Like, you know, if I'm here, I'm gonna flash my teammates there. If I'm, you know, playing, I don't know, here, I'm gonna flash my teammates there. Like, wherever you see that your flash might be useful to apply the pressure onto the enemies and to help your teammates out take the gunfights, do it. Feel free.
Spike planted.
Stealing sight.
This is, you know, like, overcooking. Overcooking. Like, I mean, if you already saw the Reyna, you know, in your face there, in an open area of the map, and you flash that Reyna, like, why would I do something like this? Like, you know, this is like, you know, overplaying level maximum. This is something that I do myself as well, sometimes, but this is something that should be never happen in your gameplay, essentially. Like, if you already flash an enemy that is in front of you, like, you don't need to do any extra stuff. You're not a streamer, you're not fighting for some clips, you're not Flexinja, man. Like, you just want to be Radiant one day and that's it. Like, if that Reyna is in front of you in a completely open area of the map, just kill that Reyna. I have no idea how your Jet didn't realize that Reyna is behind her. Map awareness, man. Map awareness. And here, You also don't know where is the gecko.
Remaining.
Cover going out.
Last player standing.
Okay, that was a
Nice.
Performance.
scary round, boys. Scary round. Scary round. Keep the shorty as a secondary weapon. Like, it is 10 times easier to get a kill there with a shorty than getting a kill with a Vandal. This retake could have been played like 10 times better. Like, basically, you know, this teleport was completely unnecessary, and I would have just peeked the Reyna and killed the Reyna. Then, you know, when your jet was there and the gecko was in the tree, I would have done a smoke there to block the vision of the gecko so that my jet can isolate the gunfight with the Reyna there. Like, I would have just done this. Then, you know, that smoke, like, as soon as you started defusing the spike, and gecko could have been here or here, I would have done another smoke with the spike so I can safely defuse, and basically, you know, my harbor is gonna, my Cypher is gonna protect me.
One enemy.
Because right now, you know, you could have been in a pinch, and if that gecko was actually playing with the Reyna like a normal human being,
Remaining.
you would have been dead. In this round, like, gecko made such a stupid mistake. Like, if your teammate is on the site fighting the enemies, fight with your teammate. If you're 2 versus 2, like if I was that gecko, I would have never left the Reyna alone on the site in that scenario. I would have picked up the gun from the chamber down there, from that Vandal, and I would have just played the, you know, make sure that my Reyna lives a happy life, and I'm playing some kind of a crossfire with the Reyna. Okay. Okay, generally speaking, all of these rounds that we lost on defense, they could have been prevented in some kind of a way, and you could have done something better. I mean, like, I just don't understand, why did you play 5 rounds in a row on the C side if enemies were already abusing on the A side so much. Now, on the attacker side of Split, of Lotus, basically the easiest site to be pushed and the easiest bomb site to play the post plant is the C site. So one thing that I will always do on my Lotus matches is that in the first round, I will always tell my teammates to do a 5-man push on C. It is the absolutely best thing that you can do, number 1. Number 2, usually on the C site in the first round, there's going to be only like 1 or 2 enemies playing there. So you consistently have more utility and higher numbers advantage than enemies have. Plus, the rotations on this map take ages, and enemies rotating from A, 2 or 3 enemies from there, they will need like 15 seconds to rotate. And in this first round, if I'm playing Omen, I will do everything that is in my capabilities to actually pressure the enemies and to take the side control. Personally, what I love to do the most with Omen in the first round is this. So, hey guys, let's push C fast. That's everything I tell them. Like, you know, let's go all together C, end of the story. I will jump spot the enemies here, push together with my teammates, clear the mound from this position, give my teammates the smoke there, and there. And if my teammates are going in front of me, if my Jet and Raze are dashing there, using the satchels, I will teleport in this cabby location there. This is why you should use the smart pings, blah, 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 like basically there. And from this location, I'll try to kill the enemies and apply the pressure and make the sandwich out of the enemies together with my, whoever is, you know, in this Suvers area of the map. How is this called? Like C-bend, whatever. If my teammates are scared to push, then I will just do this type of a teleport to extend the range from my teammates and to give my teammates the confidence to push in. And then maybe I'm gonna pick this fight with the enemies, this fight with the enemies, or I'll try to pressure the enemies in this C-bend area of the map alone and try to take the side control.
Cover going out. Shadows traveling.
In the first round on Lotus, I would never buy the Ghost. Frenzy, 2 smokes, 2 shrouded steps. Classic, 2 smokes, 2 shrouded steps. It is better because if you're pushing the C, majority of the gunfights are going to be long range, close range and medium range gunfights. So we can consistently close the gap with the enemies and utilize, you know, the close range weapons. That smoke for the waterfall, not bad. Like, one thing that you really need to pay attention on is that your smokes are a bit more precise. Like, a lot of times your smokes have some kind of gaps through which enemies can see, and they're not precise enough for the place and for the pushes that you're doing. Like, you know, this smoke in the waterfall needs to look like this. This smoke in the city needs to look like that. And also, when you're playing Omen, it is extremely important that you're always trying to follow up your duelists. Like, try to push the sites together with your teammates. Like here, for an example. We're pushing C.
Cover going out.
This smoke is premature smoke. Because we still don't know if we're gonna commit to the C push. We done the smoke way too early. So in this situation, what you should have done first is, let's push here, take the C long control, jump spot the enemies, pushing forward. Now, I'm doing this smoke. Now, I'm doing this smoke. And I'm making sure that I'm able to follow my Jet, my Reyna, my Raze into the bomb site. My Jet is there. I'm doing this TP here, killing the enemies on the bomb site, and playing together on the refrag potential.
Shadows traveling.
Stealing sight.
Revealing area.
Reloading.
Spike.
One enemy remaining.
30.
Ready yet?
Okay. Okay, very good post position. Like, there is no way that Harbor is gonna predict it. Also, like, when you're playing this position in a post plant, there's two things that you can do. First thing, I think there is a one-way smoke here,
Cover going out.
which you can use. Now Harbor is dead. Like, this one-way is very important to learn. Like, enemies cannot push you through there. Easy kills for you. Second thing that you can do a fake one-way sometimes in some specific scenarios like this. There. And then you can play inside of the smoke. And there is 90% of chances that enemies will not expect you on top of the box. And then you can try to pick a right moment of time and right timing to just swing out and kill the enemies as they're fighting your teammates. A lot of times when I do this smoke, enemies just think, bro, what the fuck is that smoke? You know, like, this Omen just failed some one-way, you know. It's not a good smoke. I mean, it's okay. It's okay smoke. Like, it's not the real one-way, like, whatever. And you can just chill in this position here, wait for the enemies to push, baba-booey.
Not ready yet. Shadows traveling.
Shot done. Enemy spotted. C.
Do you have recon?
Intensely.
Okay, not bad.
Last
Not too
player
shabby. Okay. Now, the absolutely best pattern of pushing on Lotus, if your teammates want to listen to you, is pushing the C site 3 times in a row. Like, basically, that is the most unpredictable and the best pattern of pushing, because even if you lose the first round, in that second eco halberd round, it's easy to push C. Even if you win the first round, in that second round, with a force by weapons, it is easy to push C. In the bonus round, it is easy to push C. Basically, during your whole gameplay, you should try pressuring the enemies on C as long as the C set is working for you. Because C set is usually the bomb site that is easiest for the post plant, number one. And the bomb set where enemies usually will have 1 or maybe 2 teammates there. Because, on this map, we need to prioritize the aim and control quite a lot on a defender side. And a lot of times players in solo queue, like, put 3 or 4 teammates, defending this area of the map. And they just put 1 poor sentinel playing the C site. Especially if enemies don't have the hardcore sentinel. Like, enemies don't have a cipher. They don't have the killjoy. Abuse the C site as long as it works for you. Static value.
Let's go. I got things to do.
So in this round, like, you know, pushing B side doesn't make any sense. Like, if you have better economy than enemies have, I would avoid the B side no matter what. Like, it is such an easy area of the map where enemies can play, you know, have higher chances of winning the retake. Enemies can fuck you up with the close range weapons. Why would I push B side in a round where I have a better economy than enemies have? This doesn't exist. Pushing C in this round, number one best option. Pushing A side, like, you know, fine, it's okay. I mean, we can push A as well. It doesn't matter that much.
Shadows traveling.
The only reason why I prioritize pushing the C side in the first 3 rounds is because to build up the unpredictable pattern of pushing. Because in this round, if I push, like, in the first round I push C, in the second round I push B, in the third round I push A, and my teammates want to rotate that type of a pattern, I mean, we become very predictable for the enemies. It's better, like, in the early stages of the game, to pressure the enemies in the same area of the map as much as possible. Because then you ruin the enemy's mentality, and, like, they feel a huge mental pressure in that specific area of the map, which means that they're going to probably over-focus on that area of the map, and their rotations are going to be much faster, and potentially they're going to start stacking that specific bomb site. Also, like, if you're pushing the B site on Lotus in the second round, if you win the first round, I think Spectre is a bit better option than Bulldog. And also, like, when you're pushing B, always clear the back of the box behind you. Enemies have the timing to go there, and enemies will fuck you in your anal cavity, baby.
Scanning ahead.
Pathetic.
Is the spike not ready yet?
Planted.
Okay,
Here.
good. Is that Minima, Sheriff?
Disappoint me.
Not ready yet.
One enemy remaining. My own.
Have a cipher.
Reload.
What?
Shadows traveling.
Flawless.
Nice, pick up.
Damn, no ace, huh?
PvK, one more thing. Please put your aim down sight on hold instead of the toggle. Whoever tells you that toggle is better than hold, that guy is mentally ill. Like, hold is always going to be better than toggle. Less input, less everything, like, much faster, quick scopes, quick ADSs, like, I can hear how many times you're pressing that mouse.
Flawless.
Nice, pick up.
Damn, no ace. Shit on the bot.
Also, like, there is much less room for the mistakes when you have the ADS on the hold. Minima W skin, bro, I didn't see players use Minima skin for quite some time. Like, I didn't see Minima skin in my matches for the past, like, 1.5 years. Would you say hold for sniping or toggle? For sniping, it doesn't matter that much. Like, basically, for sniping, you can use both toggle and hold, but the only thing that I recommend to the players is, like, if you already use sniper rifle aim on toggle, make sure that operator zoom is on toggle as well. And assign some kind of a button to the toggle zoom level. So when you go in, you can just press that second button on your keyboard to go in and out. And you're using this key to just go in, out, and 1x, 5x, 1x, 5x.
Nice shot.
Cover going out.
In eco and bonus rounds, like, I firmly believe once again that pushing the C site and B site makes far more sense than pushing the A site. But since your teammate got a kill on C, maybe right now enemies are, you know, gonna start rotation from A to C. But right now, I have no idea what you're doing with the Reyna. Like, my full focus would be playing with this Sova, with a Jet, with a Cypher, playing with a Spike Carrier, and that's it. Like, and in my opinion, like, when you're smoking on B side of like Lotus. This smoke
Cover going out.
is number 1 priority. This smoke is the second priority.
Shadows traveling.
You don't need a smoke for tower. It's completely fine to not smoke the tower because it is such a small choke point where your teammates can escape that choke point instantly as they push in the site. But your teammates getting fucked from there and fucked from here, that's not really a good experience.
Cutting their vision.
I don't know what you're doing. Like, what are we doing with the Reyna here? Go with the spike. Your teammates are going with the spike on A. If they lose the spike, we're gonna lose the round. Maybe, I don't know.
Reloading.
Like this gunfight, completely unnecessary gunfight. Why am I fighting that Reyna? Like in Valorant, generally speaking, you want to limit the amount of fights that you take to only necessary. If something is not necessary, fuck it. Play with your teammates. Play the refrag potential. Play with your most valuable teammate at that moment of time. Like, Reyna is not my valuable teammate. That guy is lurking, flanking, doing some shit alone. Putting the pressure on B. I just will rotate with the Sova, with the Jet, with the Cypher, and play with them. And try to control the outcome of this round as best as I can.
Reloading.
Keep them coordinates. Here.
Papito, someone told me Zed was just minima with sound effects and I haven't been able to look at the skin. Oh man, like what the fuck? That's so true. That's actually true. Actually, Zed is a, you know, minima is the bulkier version of Zed. Minima gained some weight.
Shadows traveling. Shadows traveling.
Also, as I've explained in like every single VOD review that I did, clear every single potential angle where the enemies can be at that moment of time. Like never die from behind and from some kind of an angle that you didn't clear. Clear the box behind you, clear this box in the B main area of the map, clear every single position. Clear this box in A main. It doesn't matter if your teammates are going in front of you, behind you, clear everything. It's better to be safe than to be sorry. His smokes a bit early, like his smokes are way... I already explained this in the first round. Like he's smoking way too fast and he's just wasting the timing of his smokes. Like usually, you know, when you're playing Omen, if you want to smoke the bomb site, first you take the choke point, you take the long control, main area of the map, and then you do the smoke. Oh man, I'm dying. Dun bundle. I call it a Spotify bundle. The Z? True, man. Okay, so I'm gonna showcase you right now that.
Radionite explosions are complicated. My ultimate
30
is ready.
seconds left.
Okay, we're pushing the C side. You know. First, I'm gonna jump spot the enemies here. Fight the enemies here. And from this position, I'm using one smoke, second smoke. Using a flash for my teammates, there or here, and pushing with my teammates, and that's it. You're pushing B side. You're pushing B. Usually what I love to do, if you're pushing fast, I'll do this type of a flash to pressure the enemies backwards if you're going fast. If you're playing on contact, I'm not gonna do that flash. Then, I'm clearing this from this position. Giving my teammates that smoke, giving my teammates this smoke, flashing the tower, pushing in. You can also teleport there, or maybe there, or there, for an example. And then from this position, try to take a fight with the enemies and try to shit on the enemies. If you're pushing the A side, that is the only side where you should be doing instant smoke. Like you either want to do a smoke here, or you want to do a smoke here. When would I do this type of a smoke to take aim and control if I'm playing some kind of an equal round, half by round, or a round where I have lower economy than what enemies have, and if I think enemies have the operator that is shitting on us from that angle, and that angle there. Okay. I mean, it is what it is. Like, I love that you use the smoke of your jet to push in. That was not bad. But generally speaking, like, try this play that I showcased you right now. Like, if your teammates are already pushing the C bend, you don't need to go there with them, you know, like, just flash for your teammates. That, teleport in that corner here. This is such an easy kill. Like, today when I was playing Lotus, like, I did this type of play and I clutched the round, I think, for my teammates. Like, you're completely safe. Like, there's nothing to fuck you up. Like, it's one of the best plays you can do with Omen. Here you got outplayed by the judge. Whenever you're pushing the A main area of the map, like with Omen, your primary job is crossing from the choke point to the roots or towards the rubble. Like, basically, you should instantly be doing this, or maybe going fast onto the roots if enemies are not pressuring you there, to maybe dodge the enemy's utility and to surprise the enemies with a fast peek. Depends how aggressive the enemies are in this area of the map. But your primary job with Omen is just wasting one of your shrouded steps for this, clearing the rubble, maybe jump spotting the enemies, killing that enemy. Aha, enemy is there. Bam, flash, kill that enemy, etc, etc.
I have retrieved the spider now.
Cover going out. Cover going out.
Pay attention, guys. Like, when you're using the smoke up here. Like, when you're doing this smoke, you should not actually look at your smoke, look at the minimap. Because a lot of players, that happens for me sometimes as well. Like, a lot of players do the smoke like this, and then the smoke has little gap right here. I'll always make sure that that gap doesn't exist. Like, when you're doing that smoke on the heaven, just look at the minimap. Aha, smoke is good now, because, you know, it's literally covering every single angle, left and right, and deploy it like this. That's a good smoke for heaven. No gaps, nothing. And also, it's very hard for the enemies to see above this smoke if they're playing this angle.
Spike down A.
No way.
You know, his game decision here to push to the A main was not that bad. Because let's be honest, you know, his whole team, 4 of his teammates, were in the tree. Like, you know, I would also do something that he's doing right now. I cannot blame him. The play that you did in this round was fine. Like, just your teammates are having a mental deficit. They didn't clear the tree, right? How did they die in there? Did they die from this stupid angle there? Oh, I know what the Harbor did. I know. I love this play as well. I love these type of plays as well. I do this with a Viper a lot. He did a wall that, you see how the wall is going through here, like this. He probably made a small cubby position there. Did that happen or? No, I'm just imagining things then. Your teammates are just shit.
Spike down A.
No way. Did he just spray?
Probably.
Okay. Now we are telling our Jet, let's go C. Because probably the rest of the enemies are CT and in this area of the map. You really love to play with your knife a lot. I get it, like Champion's Butterfly is a really great knife, and you know, I also love to play with my personal knife down there sometimes when I'm coaching players. But we need to have the gun out. Like, we need to clear these angles, these corners, and basically, like, enemies can be anywhere.
remaining.
Not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. Not bad.
Shadows traveling.
Planted. My ult's ready.
I don't really know this.
This postman here, like, this is why I say, like, Valorant is the game of scenarios. The more you learn how to play different scenarios, the faster you're going to adapt, and basically, like, you'll have higher win percentage and essentially, like, better game decisions. Like, how does it make sense for you to completely disconnect from your jet in this 2 versus 1 and play at a C-bound? C-bend. Like, spike is there. You see the spike from the CT. Your jet is covering this angle, you're covering this angle, and you're playing a refrag game.
Last player
I think he realized this, like, but just a bit, you know, late.
standing.
I really like how your teammates are doing completely opposite of what they actually should do on this map. Like, enemies are eco and hull by, let's push B. How does that make sense, bro?
Shadows traveling. Cover going out.
Just one more time. When you're pushing B, the must-have smokes are the smoke for the CT and smoke for the B-link, A-link. Flashing the tower and flashing the enemies here, and that's it. We can live and we can take the side control without the tower smoke.
Blinding.
And please keep the shorty as a secondary weapon. Like, in a lot of these rounds, in a lot of these scenarios, you could have taken such an easy kills through the smokes with a shorty. Like here, I would just play the shorty and wait with the shorty. Easy kill. I mean, platinum, man. Yikes. Whew.
One enemy remaining.
Gun here.
That is such a stupid mistake with the jet. Like, that is something that I also taught you guys when we were doing, like, Jet to Immortal series. Like,
30 seconds
so,
left.
you're playing Jet, and you want to peek the enemies with the ultimate, like, let's say in, I don't know, C long. Like, I'm never going to peek the enemies like this. Because there is this, like, 0.5 seconds of time when I don't have the ultimates, the knives in my hands, and enemies have a moment of time to actually place the crosshair on my head and actually kill me. And I'm completely useless to fight the enemies. So this is something I would never do. But this is far better. I mean, generally speaking, it doesn't make a difference in how unpredictable you are, because you're predictable anyways, like enemies are gonna be aiming at you, but at least you have the knives in your hands.
My ultimate is ready.
You want to play? Let's play.
Spike down. C.
Anti. I love what he did in this round, to be honest. Like, I love how after he lost the numbers advantage, he wanted to do some kind of an aggressive play, and how he wanted to basically lower down the numbers of the enemies. Like, whenever I'm in the numbers disadvantage, I'm also going to be doing these type of plays. But from now on, you know, from this round moving forward, like, we need to take as a note, Gecko plays the judge at a C bound, Chamber is playing C, B is wide open, and on A side, like, you know, there's probably enemy Jet, Harbor, and Reyna. In this round, you know, I will push C again. Like you have, like, it is number one. It is number one, more unpredictable, and number two, you have the read onto the enemies. Like, you know how the enemies are playing C-side. If you already have the information of the enemy's pattern on a defender side, abuse that information. Like, Gecko is playing there with a judge, Chamber is playing aggressively here, and he then teleports there. Okay, sure. You know, jumps for the Chamber. Maybe use some kind of a flash to clear this area of the map, I don't know. Push the Chamber back. Do this. Do this. Flash the Gecko at the backside. Teleport. Not there, but, you know, do the normal teleport here. Kill the Gecko. Easy bomb site control.
Cover going out. Shadows traveling.
That first smoke is fine, but smoke on tower is bad, number one. And number two, that smoke for the heaven, you should chill a bit. You know, like, don't do it this fast.
Oh my god.
Mistake 101 of every single elo in Valorant. Whenever you're planting the spikes behind the walls or in some kind of a corner, 99% of times you want to plant the spike by looking towards the wall. So if you end up in this type of a scenario where you're here and the enemy is defusing the spike, it is 10 times easier for you to find the body of that enemy. Or if the enemy has a smoke. But if the spike is planted there, that enemy can be here, 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 here.
Spike planted.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose! Last player standing.
Okay, okay.
Let's go.
Stealing sight.
By the way, just a quick note here, because I already did the VOD review of the PvK, and I already explained all of his mechanical problems. I think that mechanically you got a bit better. Like, that Sage VOD that we watched was hell of a time. Like, but now this is not bad. It is much better. The crosshair placement is better. The gunfights that you're taking are better. Your micro adjustments are a bit better. So I would just recommend you to keep using the training routine that I have given you the last time. Keep using that training program like for the next like 1 month or 1.5 months more. It's good, it's good. Good job. There is not a single moment of time where my teammates are gonna go into the site without at least having one smoke.
No way.
Oh, the abuser, man! Cringe fest incoming, huh? Nah, I love this a lot. I love this a lot. What Gecko did right now, this is... pure gold, pure gold.
I suggest you move.
I didn't know that's possible.
You didn't know that doors are penetratable? What, guys? You can penetrate the doors. You know? With the high penetration weapons. Even with the with the medium. Like, I think you can do this to kill that guy. Like there are some spots in the doors, I just don't know them myself, unfortunately. Like, that you can penetrate with a Vandal and Phantom. And with a high penetration weapons, like, you know, the bullets are going through. No, he said in the VOD that he didn't know that doors are penetratable.
Me either, what the fuck?
Once again, try to plant the spike in the corners. I mean, I don't know.
Spike planted.
I'm very low.
Cover going out.
You see, guys, how in this scenario, the shorty would have been the best kill potential that he can have right now. Like, the enemy Gecko is with the Odin. And with a full HP here. He destroyed the doors. He did this smoke. Charlatan takes the shorty, gets in the smoke, waits for the Gecko. That's it. You have 34 HP.
Last player standing.
I'm dead.
Okay, that was like that was really nice.
What?
And
In your gameplay, you're really missing that shorty potential to refrag yourself and to basically get an easy kill. Try to learn how to play shorty. The question is, when do you buy shorty? Every round. Every round. You will see me carry the shorty in every single full buy round as a secondary weapon. Like every time I have a Vandal, I don't know, like a Spectre, Stinger, I have money to afford it, I'm gonna afford it. My boot can penetrate too, I'd say. True. Are you good at math? I'm only good at math. What's the best way I can improve my crosshair placement? I always try to... watch some of my previous VOD reviews on my second YouTube channel. I talked about that quite a lot.
it's
Play
just
slow,
default.
play slow, play slow.
Yeah, default.
Can you give me an input on why did you teleport here? I mean, enemies. I don't know. I mean, what? I don't know. If I have enough for Sheriff and Judge in the second round, is that better or Spectre and Shorty? Depends on the map. Depends on the map. Like, your second round weapon is based on the agent that you're playing, map that you're playing, and on which side you're playing. Like on the attacker side of Lotus, if I win the first round and I'm playing in the second round, I'm gonna go with a Spectre, Shorty, Heavy Shield, and Utility. If I'm playing on a defender side, probably I'm gonna go with a Spectre, Shorty, Heavy Shield, once again on Lotus. On Bind, in a second round, I'm always gonna go with a Judge, Heavy Shield, and Classic Pistol. Like, there's no need for the Sheriff. But if I'm playing a bonus round, maybe I'm gonna buy the Sheriff as well with a Judge, just so I can play more different gunfights. He was sent into the corner because he was a bad guy, true, man.
Spike
Bro.
down. C.
That was the rattiest shit.
Does Gecko Blind reveals you on the minimap? Nope. It doesn't reveal you on the minimap, like, but you can see the projectile in which direction that Gecko Blind is, you know, shooting at you, jizzing on you. Like this is exactly what I don't like about solo queue players. Like, everyone wants to be Radiant, everyone wants to be a pro player, but no one is investing 1% of their brain power into predicting the enemies and observing the minimap and observing, like, what's happening in the match. Like, how, in which world is it hard to push on the C side against the Chamber and Gecko? Especially Gecko that is playing Odin. And especially when you're playing Omen with so many great, like, aggressive plays and plays with the flash that you can do to punish that Gecko and Chamber. How many times do you BM on average? What is BM? Bro saw C on keyboard and pressed it for fun. I mean, in this type of a scenario... oh, you mean BM? Okay. Not that much, to be honest. Like I stay away from doing that because, I don't know. I personally don't find it fun. Now, listen. If you're left in this type of a scenario, in any match, like, just try to connect with one of your teammates and try to do something together. Like, 3 versus 4 is not unwinnable. Like, it's still okay. Like, I mean, you can group up together and push something together. Like, it's better than selling the spike to the enemies and going alone in some area of the map.
And
I'm playing default again. Either goes here
Are we pushing C?
or here.
I might be able to get a dart on it. Or actually, I could.
What was that smoke that you wanted to do there, huh? What was that, bro? I mean, if you want to help your teammates take the C long, just do the flash. Like, just do the instant flash like this and push the C long. I mean,
I can drain.
smoke there, no bueno.
Jet behind the.
Or do the drone, I don't know.
I think chamber's on set. Just wait for my ult.
my ult's ready.
Shadows traveling.
Let's rotate, let's rotate, let's rotate.
Jet could be close.
Let's rotate.
We just killed one enemy on C site. There is maximum 1 or 2 enemies on C, and let's rotate. And now there is a chance that enemies are gonna pick us apart on rotation and kill us and surprise us maybe here, I don't know. How does that make sense for the Valorant players? Like, literally, guys, you need to grow some balls, man. Like, if you already kill one guy on the C set of Lotus, it takes ages for the rest of their team to rotate from A and B to C. There is maximum 1 or 2 enemies on C right now. We have all of the abilities available to push the C set. Why the fuck are we risking a rotation right now?
Yeah, let's leave. Let's. Nice. Let's go.
Oh my god.
I'll check you.
Jet 78.
Shadows traveling.
You need to fix the smoke.
So have a play for alt.
Yeah.
Okay, this should be an easy win. This should be an easy win.
Not ready yet. Cover.
Also, guys, like, just one quick tip. Like, whenever you're planting some kind of a spike on any bomb site, try to plant in an area of the map where, like, you can do one-way smokes. So, for example, if you plant here, you can still do the one-way smokes up there. And that is a one-way for there. This is a one-way for this, you know, for that location. So, you know, try always to give your Omen an opportunity to do the one-ways and to play on the one-way, the post-plant.
Going out.
That smoke there is fine. I mean, anyways, like, we're all in the tree area of the map, so we can fight together. If your teammate is holding the flash, you should hold the angle, always. And it's very good what he's doing right now.
Just ult now, fuck it.
That ultimate didn't make any sense, literally. Like, why would he ult now? I mean, the spike is literally 1 centimeter away from us, and enemies can push us at any moment of time.
120, 120.
One enemy remaining.
Okay. Overall, my consensus is that you should definitely stick to Omen. This gameplay that we saw right now, today, is 10 times better than what you showcased me through your Sage gameplay. And I really feel that Omen will fix a lot of your gameplay problems that you had with the Sage. Not bad. Your utility usage can be better. Your precision of smokes can be better. You need to learn the one-ways on every single map and for every single scenario. Focus on precision over the speed. And also, don't waste your utility and the timing of your utility if your teammates are already not pushing into the site or you don't have a contact with the enemies. Try to read a bit better how the enemies are positioned on both attackers and defenders side, especially if the enemy's positioning is very boring. Follow the ABAB rule, follow the rule of fear, and on the attacker side, you know, on some maps, and it makes more sense to pressure some areas of the map more than others, especially depending on which economy you have and on which economy enemies have in that specific round. Other than that, like you definitely need to implement better strategies on defense, like, and to abuse more off angles. Yo, PVK, thank a lot for 5 gifted subs, my boy. Much love, man. Essentially, on a defender side, you should definitely try to abuse more off angles, and the classic pistol strategy in the first round, you know, definitely that is something that you need to implement and do it a bit better. Pay attention on the minimap, and pay attention on where the enemies are and where your teammates are. Try to support your teammates with your smokes and flashes whenever your teammates are getting in some kind of a stupid gunfight, and whenever, like, your teammates are actually fighting the enemies. Like, basically, the body posture of your teammates and direction in which your teammates are looking at can tell you a lot what your teammates are going to do. So try to, you know, intake that information and place your utility to support your teammates, whatever the fuck they're doing on the map. Like, Omen is such a great character to support your allies wherever they are, with the one-way smokes, with the regular smokes, with the flash, etc, etc. Other than that, I think I covered the most important topics which you should try to improve and what you should actually work on. Okay, boys, that's it for this VOD review. If you want to get coached by me, make sure to join my Discord server. Also, my Discord server, you can subscribe as a tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 sub, and you can get a free live VOD review as well. I mean, VOD review in general. I'm gonna be organizing more live VOD review giveaways starting in June. I owe you guys 18 free live VOD review giveaways. So we need to do 18 live VOD reviews. I'm really slacking. I know I really want to finish, like, the videos and the guides for Jet and Omen. And I want to finish the playbook for these 2 agents. The playbook you can access on my Discord server if you're a Twitch sub, YouTube member, or Discord sub. And essentially, that's it for today.